Now, let's head across the Atlantic now, where it's all been happening. Our former Prime Minister Liz Truss is over there campaigning. Hunter Biden's offering to testify. And top-ranking CIA officials are sharing pro-Palestinian messages on Facebook. To unpack that and a lot more, I'm joined now by former congressman and presidential candidate, Mr. Joe Walsh. Joe, very good evening to you.
Hey, my favorite UK troublemaker. It's always good to be with you.
It's always good to be with you too. We'll get on to some serious matters very, very shortly, but I must bring up something that was brought to my attention earlier this week, and it's a picture, a moving picture, I should say, of Donald Trump turning up in Nikki Haley's home state, walking onto a football field, you might have seen it, to what appears to be rapturous applause. People are telling me, Joe, this is yet more evidence that he's even more popular than the last time you and I spoke.
Michael, this is, and you know how I feel about Trump. I think he's an existential threat to our democracy. But this race for the Republican nomination isn't a story. It's never been a story. It's Trump. Trump will be the nominee. The Republican Party is his. This has never been in doubt. But you know, the media is trying to make a race of it. It's not a race.
No, listen, I'm certainly not trying to make a race of it because I believe people like yourself, Joe, know a lot more about this than I do. When you say that he's going to be the nominee, I've been saying that for a long time as well. But, I mean, what I'm saying, I suppose, is the question then becomes, is he more popular than whoever your lot can come up with?
Yeah. Well, Michael, and again, you and I will fight about this next year. I think there's a better than 50-50 chance he gets elected again.
Yeah. For
a lot of reasons. And the Democrats and Biden are in real trouble. America needs to wake up to that.
Yeah, they really do, because I speak to people over there who are friends. In fact, I saw a friend of mine who was in London this week, who's a serious Democrat. You know, she's been on various, Democratic fundraising campaigns and all the rest of it. And she lives in California. And she was saying that, the woke left are really doing so much damage to what the Democrats are trying to do. And they're derailing all of their kind of sensible policies on the economy, on all sorts of things about foreign policy. And all they want to talk about is gender politics. All they want to talk about is ideology. And all they want to talk about is rah, rah, Palestine.
Well, yeah. Hey, Michael, you nailed it, my friend. Look, you and I may fight a little bit about Biden. I think generally Biden has been damn good standing by Israel, but he's got a problem. And the Democrats have a problem. They're divided on Israel. And the left in this country is antagonistic toward Israel. This is going to hurt Biden politically.
Yeah. And that's the problem, because I, like you, find it hard to believe that sensible people can be as ridiculous as they have been and come out with some of the things. I know you tweeted a student situation, a student event, where one student after another was getting up and not only just talking about the rights of Palestinians, but actually saying you shouldn't be demonizing Hamas. I mean, what the hell is going on?
Michael, the world needs to know this. In Oakland, California last night at a city council meeting, regular Americans stood up and defended Hamas, not the Palestinian people. They defended Hamas. I mean, look, this is a real problem. I think it's all over the world when it comes to the far left. But in America right now, this is dangerous, because they're not just saying we stand with the Palestinian people. They're justifying and actually supporting what Hamas did on October 7th. Scary stuff.
It really is, particularly when you see what's happening there now. I mean, like me, I'm assuming you are a parent. I don't know whether you are, but, I've got children. Watching those kids being released back into the bosom of their families was quite sickening. And to now hear that an awful lot of them are talking about being beaten up, being shown Hamas videos constantly, being told to be quiet. There's one girl, little Emily Hand, who came out. Her father thought she was dead. It turns out that she wasn't. She's back with him. She can only whisper to him now because she's been sort of, coaxed into being frightened to speak in case she got killed.
Michael, I don't know about you, and I am a dad. I don't know about you, but like these last 53 days have been damn clarifying, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. This is good versus evil. This is Israel against Hamas. And it's been really clarifying to watch people choose sides. And here in America, we've got Democrats fighting with Democrats because Democrats, so many Democrats in this country, cannot decide which side they're on. That is like bizarre to me because there's no decision to make here. Hamas is evil, period.
And when we learn the things that we now know, for example, that one of the masterminds of the October 7th attack was in fact a former prisoner in an Israeli jail who was released by Israel over another deal. I think it was to free the Israeli soldier who they held for a while. He gets released. He then goes on to plan the worst attack on Jewish people since the Holocaust. They now apparently are holding an awful lot of senior Hamas leaders. And this exchange of hostages for prisoners is going to end badly for Israel if they end up letting some of these people out.
I'm not, I'll be honest, Michael. I'm not happy with this whole it pisses me off that Israel, and I understand why they did it, and I know that President Biden in the United States pressured them to enter into this bogus hostage deal with Hamas. I'm not happy with it. I don't like the fact that hostages are being released 10 at a time. That's absolute BS. Every hostage should be freed. But more importantly, that's not the story. Michael, it's so awesome that men, women, and children are gaining their freedom, but that's not the story here. That's not what's important. What's important is that Hamas needs to be no more. Yeah. And I so worry that what we're going through right now is going to deter Israel from doing their damn job and getting rid of Hamas.
It's got to be done. And frankly, I'm sickened by the stories that are coming out, like the one today where they were asked to locate and put into the next hostage release package, if you like, the 10-month-old baby. They now say, oh, he was killed in an airstrike by Israel some time ago. I mean, it's just disgusting.
It's disgusting. You can't believe a word Hamas says. We can only hope and pray that that little 10-month-old and his family are still alive. But my God, Michael, if that 10-month-old baby is dead, I just think, look, we need Joe Biden to stand firm. Maggie Thatcher, I forgot who back in the day she was I think George H.W. Bush. Yeah. She said, don't go wobbly on me now, George. Yeah. We can't have Biden go wobbly on Israel now. Screw his left base. Most Americans are very pro-Israel. Biden cannot go wobbly. He's got to be strong.
Yeah, absolutely right. Let's talk about his son, Hunter. He's apparently happy to be questioned in Congress about a whole manner of things, including some dodgy dealings. What do you make of that whole kind of situation with Hunter Biden? It's very weird to me.
Look, he called their bluff, Michael. I'm no fan of Hunter Biden, but he called the House Republicans' bluff. He said, okay, you want me to come testify? Transparency, baby. Let's do it in front of the American people. And what did House Republicans say? No, we don't want that. I think, Michael, they don't want that because right now they don't have much of a case against Joe Biden. We know that Hunter Biden enriched himself from foreign governments. Sadly, that's legal. It's corrupt, but it's legal. But the House Republicans don't have the goods on Joe Biden, and Hunter Biden called their bluff yesterday.
Right. And what is he doing now, Hunter? Because, you know, having seen all the stories that got suppressed by various different regions of the country, various different outlets of the press, and it turns out that, you know, all of those stories should not have been suppressed at all. Does he have a job? Does he pop into the White House to see Dad every now and again? What does he do?
You know what he does, Michael? He does what he's always done. He lives off of the Biden name. Right. It's pathetic. It's corrupt. He's not the only one who does that and did that. I could introduce you to Jared Kushner, who got rich off of his family name after he left the White House. But no, that's all Hunter Biden has done his whole life is live off of the Biden name.
But a lot of people say about American politics that the one thing that happens if you become a senator or you become a representative in the House or you become a presidential candidate or certainly you get to be president, you get very rich in America when you're a politician. And this is one of the things that Donald Trump says, that, how is it possible that Joe Biden, who's made, a reasonable kind of six-figure salary all of his life, is suddenly worth tens of millions of dollars?
They all do, Michael. I did a lousy job of that. I didn't do that, but they all do that. Republican and Democrat. You leverage your position in government to enrich yourself. It's wrong. It's corrupt. And part of the problem, though, is that these Republicans and Democrats are in Washington, D.C. for like thousands of years. I mean, Joe Biden is a creature of D.C. The longer they're there, the more easily they can enrich their position. It's a shame.
It really is. Well, listen, Joe, a pleasure as ever to talk to you. I'm going to cheer you up now because I'm going to play you a little bit of Donald Trump walking into that place.
No, I'm out of here, Michael.
Come on,
that's BS.
come on, have a look at it. Cheer along with it if you like. Here it goes. He is, in fact, rather welcome, made to feel very welcome. Nikki Haley's home state, South Carolina. They seem to like him. Now, of course, depending on which news outlet you watch that on, he was either being booed or he was being cheered. But, I think he's the next president of the United States. I'll make a bet with you at this point.
I will bet you dinner at your favorite joint out there.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I can tell you my favourite. I can tell you I've got a couple of favourite joints in Washington, D.C. as well, so we may have to do it there, but we'll see which one of us wins.
Either way, Michael, we'll bet dinner. You and I will bet dinner on that.
All right. Sounds good to me. Great stuff. Thank you very much indeed. Joe Walsh there.
Thanks, man.
Very sensible man. We once used to argue all the time. Now we just talk and see if we have a few differences of opinion. It's all very good and it's all very wholesome.